Good morning, students. Today's topic is factors influence vaporization or evaporation. In previous class, we discussed about already vaporization. I just revised once again. Vaporization means the process in which liquid is converted into vapor is called vaporization. One more name for that is evaporation. Here, factors influence vaporization. So there are four factors. They are increasing temperature, increasing wind speed, decreasing humidity and increasing surface area. Now we look at about them. How these factors influence evaporation. First one is increasing temperature. If you increase the temperature, immediately liquid is converted into vapor. Automatically evaporation increases. That's all. If we increase temperature, liquid is converted into vapor. Automatically vaporization takes place very fast. Next one is by increasing wind speed. Wind speed nothing but air speed. That means if we pass more amount of air over the water or any liquid, then that liquid undergoes evaporation. Then automatically vaporization takes place immediately. So if you pass air over the liquid, then that air takes some amount of water along with air, and that the remaining water also converted into, or that remaining liquid also converted into vapor state. Like that vaporization takes place immediately. Next one, decreasing humidity. First we should know what is humidity. Humidity means the amount of water vapor present in atmosphere is called humidity. The amount of water vapor present in atmosphere is called humidity. Suppose if more amount of humidity, nothing but more amount of water is present in atmosphere, then then the water or liquid present on earth is not easily converted into vapor, because already vapor is present in atmosphere. So the question here, the point here is, if that water vapor quantity decreases in atmosphere, not in the earth, not in atmosphere, then the liquid present on the earth is easily converted into vapor state. If it is converted into vapor state easily, automatically evaporation takes place easily. So that is the factor regarding decreasing humidity. And last one, increasing surface area. Suppose if you take glass of water, take that glass of water, put it after 1 hour. If you see that after some time, automatically the amount of water decreases. You can experience in your home itself. Suppose take that same amount of water, pour that water on the floor. Automatically, after some time, that water undergoes evaporation. In previous case, we take water in glass. In this case, we pour the water on the floor. Then what is in both cases water undergoes evaporation, but in second case the water undergoes evaporation easily because of more surface area. So because of more surface area, so if surface area increases, then evaporation also increases. So these are the factors which influence vaporization. Next topic is effect of temperature. So matter exists in three states. We know one is solid, another one is liquid, and another one is gas. So here the point is, I take solid. If you heat that solid, then that solid is converted into liquid after some time, because the particles present in solid loses energy. Which energy? Kinetic energy. Because we are applying a heat, nothing but we are applying temperature. Due to increasing temperature, then kinetic energy increases, because between kinetic energy and temperature directly relation is there. So if you apply temperature, then the kinetic energy between the solid molecules increases. If kinetic energy between the kinetic energy of the molecules increases in the solid, then those molecules apart from each other, and the molecules apart from each other, then those after some time, after some time, solid is converted into liquid. I just repeat once again about this one. I am discussing now about solids. When we apply temperature to that solid, then the solid particles having more kinetic energy. How can we say that point? Because of this expression, as temperature increases, kinetic energy also increases. If kinetic energy increases, then the attractions between the solid particles decreases, then the particles moves apart from each other, not close to each other, apart from each other. Then after some time, liquid is formed. Again, if you apply temperature, more temperature to this liquid, then the liquid molecules gains more energy, nothing but kinetic energy. Again, those liquid molecules apart from each other, then after some time, gas is formed. So here the point is, if you increasing temperature, solid is converted into liquid. Again, if you increasing temperature, liquid is converted into gas. In reverse process, take gas. If you decreasing temperature, take gas. If you decrease the temperature, then the kinetic energy of the molecules also decreases. If the kinetic energy decreases, then the molecules comes close to each other. When the molecules comes close to each other, after some time, liquid will be formed. So by decreasing temperature, gas converted into liquid. Again, if you decrease the temperature in the liquid state, again the kinetic energy of the liquid molecules decreases. Again, the molecules very close to each other are finally solid is formed. So here the point is, when the temperature increases, solid is converted into liquid and liquid is converted into gas. But when the temperature decreases, gas is converted into liquid and liquid is converted into solid. So these are the very important points regarding effect of temperature. Remember these points. Again, these points comes in 10th class, 11th class, 12th class. Next one, effect of pressure. By increasing, suppose I take CO2 gas. CO2 is present in gaseous state. We know very well about CO2, that is gas. By increasing the pressure of CO2 gas, then that gas is converted into liquid, and after some time it is converted into solid. I repeat once again, I am discussing about effect of pressure. In that one, I take the example of CO2 gas. CO2 gas contains so many gaseous molecules. If you apply more pressure, then all the CO2 molecules comes close to each other, then that CO2 gas converted into liquid. When we apply more pressure, again that liquid is converted into solid. That solid CO2 is called dry ice. That solid CO2 is called dry ice. It is stored under high pressure. Because if pressure decreases, immediately that solid CO2 is converted into gaseous state. So that is about effect of pressure. Here some in-text questions are there. These are very important questions. So first one is, how does evaporation causes cooling? That means after evaporation, cooling takes place. Why? That is the meaning of the question. So the answer is, during evaporation, the liquid molecules loses energy. During evaporation, the liquid molecules loses energy. Due to that means they want to gain that energy. That means so that those molecules gains energy from surroundings. If they gains energy from surroundings, automatically surroundings becomes cool. Surroundings becomes cool. Because of that, cooling takes place. I just repeat once again, evaporation means what? Liquid is converted into vapor. During evaporation, molecules loses energy. To regain that energy, those molecules gains that energy from surroundings. Automatically, surroundings becomes cool. Finally, cooling takes place. That is the reason behind the evaporation causes cooling. Next question is, why should we wear cotton cloths in summer? That means in this season, why we should wear cotton cloths? That is the question. So here the question, simple answer is there. If we know, most of the members know the answer about this one. So the correct reason for this is, if you wear cotton cloths in summer we used to sweat. That means more amount of water is coming from our body. So if you wear cotton cloths, that cotton cloths absorb sweat or water from our body, and those cotton cloths allows air. Those cotton cloths allows air. Automatically our body becomes cold. So that means cooling sensation takes place. So because of this reason, we should wear cotton cloths in summer. I just repeat, I once again I repeat the answer. If you wear cotton cloths in summer, those cotton cloths absorb sweat or water from our body, and those cotton cloths allows air to the body from surroundings. Automatically we get cooling sensation. We get cooling feeling. That is why we should wear cotton cloths in summer. And one more way is also there, one more answer is there. If you wear cotton cloths, those cotton cloths absorb energy, and those molecules, that means water molecules loses energy after absorbing sweat from our body. Then those molecules gains energy from surroundings. Automatically surroundings becomes cold. That surroundings cooling effect causes our body free. Our body automatically become free. This is also one more answer like as our question. So that is the reason for this one. Next one, why water droplets are formed on the surface of the glass containing ice cold water. That means if you take ice water in one glass, then after some time water droplets are formed outer surface of the glass. Why? What is the reason behind that one? That is the meaning of the question. Answer for this question is, the water vapor present in air contact with the outer surface of the glass containing ice cold water, then the water vapor converts into liquid droplets by losing energy. I just repeat once again. If ice water is present in glass, then the water vapor present in air contact with outer surface of the glass, then the water vapor converts into liquid droplets by losing energy. So this is the reason behind why water droplets are formed on the surface of the glass containing ice cold water. There are some points regarding temperature. Suppose 27 degrees temperature, that means 27 plus 273, that means 300 Kelvin. So what is the difference between degrees and Kelvin? If temperature is given in degrees Celsius, if you add 273, then that can be converted into Kelvin's temperature. Both are dimensions of temperature. So degrees Celsius and Kelvin both are dimensions of temperature. So if you add plus 273 degrees Celsius, that can be converted into Kelvin's temperature. And one more point, suppose 400 Kelvin is given. If to that 400 minus 273, then it becomes degrees Celsius. That means its value is how much? Nearly 127 degrees Celsius. So here the point is, if Kelvin temperature is given, if you need degrees Celsius, you should subtract that value by 273. If you add plus 273, that can be converted into Kelvin. If you subtract 273, that can be converted into degrees Celsius. This is very important question. This is very very important. So you may face 1 mark or 2 marks regarding this one. So this is all about matter in our surroundings. Later I will post the questions, exercise questions regarding this one to Google Classroom, and you should submit the same to Google Classroom within 2 days. Thank you.